Ladies and gentlemen, today we have to address the fact that RTruth, the man who has been entertaining in WWE and in wrestling in general, you know what I'm saying, for decades at this point, the countless amazing segments, the entertainment value, the hilariousness of what he's doing, right? And also he's had some pretty good matches and some good runs, like I thought his heel run in 2011 I thought was great in my opinion. However, RTruth has allegedly been released. Okay, I guess this is confirmed, I guess at this point. It's not alleged, you get what I mean? But he has been released. Now, obviously, there are multiple theories and reasonings, and everyone's trying to justify this and explain this and that and that. There's no explanation for this. If this is real, and RTruth actually got fired, you know what I'm saying, released from his contract, this is an embarrassment and a ridiculous indictment on the company of WWE, and yes, it's on TKO and it's on Triple H. I'm tired of people saying, oh, well, TKO, man, TKO. No, stop. And you know dang on well, every single one of the releases that has taken place over the last year or so, Triple H has either co-signed on those releases or has been okay with them happening. You have to understand these things. You can't be the creator of, the creative guy behind an entire company, and you mean to tell me that you have no say in people getting fired from that same company? Stop! It's a lie. Triple H co-signed RTruth getting fired if he actually is getting fired. The reason I keep saying if is because I do have an idea on how RTruth and him potentially being released could possibly be a heavy work that could lead him to John Cena turning face. But we're going to talk about that later. We need to talk about this as if it is 100% legit because I do believe that he actually is fired. And this is absolutely unacceptable. You just had RTruth fight John Cena at Saturday Night Main Event. You just had him fight JC Cobb, Jeffrey Cobb, Jefferson Cobbathan, Jefferson Cobry, whatever the heck you want to call this guy. Jeffrey Cobb pinned RTruth in like 2 minutes on SmackDown a few days ago. And the week before that, RTruth got jobbed out to John Cena in 4 minutes. He lit the crowd up. The crowd was entertained. They loved what he was doing. It was a fun little outing for RTruth at Saturday Night Main Event. But my question is, how can you let someone who has been trustworthy, accountable, respectable, I respect you, RTruth, I love you, I need you. You know what I'm saying? RTruth has done all those things for decades at this point. He has been loyal. He has been consistent. He has put smiles on faces for many, many years. And you mean to tell me that after he just did this program with Cena and he got jobbed out by Jefferson Cobbathan last night or 2 nights ago on SmackDown that now he is fired? Are you serious? This is embarrassing, man. There is no legitimate reason for any of this nonsense. This just goes to further show you that Bald H, triple fraud, whatever you want to call him, is an absolute and utter joke. This is not acceptable, and you have to understand these things. The allegations of Triple H potentially being, the R word, right? He said in an interview after Bad Blood, he's like, I can't see color, I don't see color. You don't see talent either. So what do you see? Bad booking? That's all he does is make bad PLEs, book people into oblivion. None of the stars are getting treated the way that they should be getting treated. And with Triple H, obviously we're going to discuss the racial allegations against Triple H a little bit later in the video because it has to be discussed, okay? I have an obligation to give you guys what is my honest truth and my honest opinion on every single matter when it comes to this stuff, okay? And that is what I am going to do. So whether you love it, you hate it, you like it, you don't like it, shut your mouth and enjoy the ride that C-Jax is taking you lovely people on. But the point is that there's a bigger issue than that, and that is Triple H's accountability and his integrity. After all of the people who have been released over the last year or so, we have not seen any message, any comment, any sort of, well wishes or anything from Triple H. And the talent that have been released, like Baron Corbin, right, like Elektra Lopez, Braun Strowman, etc., Bobby Lashley, I'm saying, now RTruth, etc. All of these people are coming out and saying that there was no legitimate reason or any talk they had with Triple H, as this was happening. There's no transparency. There's no accountability for these actions. These people are breaking their bodies for you week after week, showing up, traveling, leaving their families, and you don't even have anything to say to them when their livelihood, their jobs gets taken away? And you're the head of the company. This is a leader? You call this man a leader? This is an embarrassment. Triple H is a joke, man, and you know it. I don't care what nobody says. This is embarrassing and it's disrespectful. And we just saw this in the Mania build. Amidst the horrible Mania build and Mania being bad itself, Triple H is talking trash, telling the fans to literally F off. Words from the guy who's running the company saying F off. Don't watch as a critic, watch as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Who says that? What kind of leader of a company tells the people who are not enjoying, obviously, but watching the product and consuming the product to F off? Who do you think you are? What kind of stuff? Like, this dude, man, I'm telling you, this guy is a absolute fraud. If you don't see it at this point, I don't know what else to say. And with Triple H saying that he can't see color, we have to look at it. MVP recently came out and said that he has zero respect for Paul Levesque because Triple H does not know how to book his talent, and, he had the issues with Bobby Lashley and all that stuff, but this is an ongoing thing. We see this with all types of different stars now, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever the heck, they are all getting booked into oblivion. You can name multiple different stars that just aren't getting treated correctly. Now, obviously, it is very alarming the amount of black superstars that actually have talent and get absolutely nothing. Carmelo Hayes, if you look at what's happening with him, it is a travesty. He has gotten jobbed out by any mid-carder you can think of on SmackDown over the last year. He has likely been pinned by them. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing at this point. Trick Williams is still sitting in NXT somehow. You mean to tell me that Trick Williams, from a talent perspective, is worse than Jey Uso? Really? But Jey Uso's a world champ and Trick Williams is chilling in NXT rotting away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is an embarrassment. You have to look at things realistically and notice the inconsistencies and notice the flaws. Look at the treatment of RTruth right now. Look at what's happening with him. It's not acceptable. But to be fair, I will be fair, there is a lot of this stuff with the bad booking of Triple H that takes place in all kinds of different aspects of the company. But obviously, the stuff that's happening to the African-American talent is getting a little bit overboard. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo Hayes, someone of that talent, should not be sitting back as Lyra Valkyria, Braun Breaker, and Tiffany Stratton, all brought up in the same draft class, to WWE last year, all have championship reigns, and Carmelo Hayes has nothing to show for it except for being jobbed out 8 to 10 times over the last year. There is something wrong with that picture. You know what I'm saying? There is clearly something off with that, but we'll just see what happens. You also have the situations with every single Latino wrestler just gets shoved into a faction with either Legado or the LWO, or they're feuding with one of those teams like Rey Fenix is doing, etc. You know what I'm saying? It's all forced together. You get to see the themes of what Triple H is doing. All of the Asian wrestlers, right, or the Chinese wrestlers, go out there and they're forced to just go out there and just start yelling and acting crazy and pointing at themselves like Io Sky and, Asuka and what's it called, Kairi Sane. All of them have to go out there and act eccentric and act crazy and all, delusional and stuff. It's very weird, but you can see the themes of what Triple H is doing. It happens with African Americans, the Latino wrestlers, the Asian wrestlers. The list goes on and on and on. And something that has to be asked as well. Let's just think about this for a second. In the last 2 years, basically since like the midpoint of 2023, since Triple H took over and onwards to now, outside of WrestleManias and SummerSlams, because you can fit all kinds of people on that card at that point. I mean, there's like 15 billion matches, so you have that. But this is the point, right? Outside of SummerSlams and WrestleManias, when is the last time that we have actually had a singles match that has had at least one or both of the people in the match being black? Just ask yourself that. I'm just asking a question because I genuinely can't know. If someone in the comment section can remind me of when that took place, I would love to see it because I'm trying to think back right now. Last year, I don't remember there being any singles matches with any black competitors in them on a non-SummerSlam or a non-Mania. This year, it's the same thing. What have they had? What, Naomi and Jade? That was WrestleMania though, so that doesn't really count. You know what I'm saying? Elimination Chamber, did that have it? I don't think so. Did Royal Rumble have it? I don't think so. Did any of the Saturday Night main events have it? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? The world champion, Io Sky. Io Sky is Japanese. She's the world heavyweight champion. Have we seen her on a card for anything since WrestleMania? I'm just like at this point, we have to ask these questions because there's no reason why these talent, you know what I'm saying, who are different ethnicities and all this stuff and have, prominence inside of the company, even some of them that don't, you can't book them to be prominent, or you can't even book the ones that are prominent to even be on the card? Really? You know what I'm saying? We get Jey Uso on the card because we have to, because he can yeet for 5 minutes. But other than that, where else? Where is everyone else? Where are they? I don't know. I don't see him. I'm sorry. And to make matters even worse, you have Carmelo Hayes posting on Twitter after he lost that match a couple nights ago and got jobbed out by Andrade. He posted a meme of Steph Curry, like, just in disgust, just in disbelief of what he was watching. And then he also posted today saying this, this heartfelt message to RTruth and what he's meant to him in his career. And that's great. I also saw Patrick McAfee and Rhea Ripley also were commenting under RTruth's post saying he got released, basically saying how much they're going to miss him and how much respect they have for RTruth and all that. And that's great, but this does not distract from the point that this firing or releasing is unbearable. Karrion Kross still has a job. He's done nothing in the entirety of his career in WWE. You have to understand that. He was good in NXT. I guess you can say he was good in NXT. I think he's overrated. Karrion Kross is now over due to doing stuff on the internet. I understand that. But think about the fact that Karrion Kross has contributed nothing to WWE in its entirety. If Karrion Kross never joined WWE, what would have changed about the pantheon of the product? Nothing! Because Karrion Kross is a jobber. I don't give a crap if he got a pop backstage for doing a segment. I don't give a crap if he's in a Money in the Bank match. You cannot tell me that people like Karrion Kross, Pete Dunne, the jobber Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Grayson Waller, you get me? Rusev, D-Lister Black, Akira Tozawa, you know what I'm saying? All of these jobbers that consistently go out there, Zelina Vega, etc. It goes down the list. You can go for days and name the jobbers on this garbage roster. Like I said, there's people I didn't even mention. JD McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? The War Raiders, Andrade. Heck, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Damian Priest even. Not saying he should be released. I'm not saying that. Not saying any of these people should be released necessarily. But it's the fact that these jobbers who have not contributed 1/100th of what RTruth has contributed to this company, and they still have a job and have a position where they're showing up every single week, but RTruth cannot anymore because he's released? Come on, man. This is unacceptable, bro. How can you break your back, get injured so many times, go through so many different things on screen, off screen, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? Deal with different types of booking, watch different regimes come in and out of the company, put smiles on people's faces, entertain the masses, have good matches over the years, you know what I'm saying? Be a model of consistency and loyalty to this company, and for all of that, you get fired. Explain that to me. Somebody please explain that. How does that make any sense? It is unbearable. This company is a disaster. Anybody who is any good or actually contributes is likely booked like a jobber. Just think about it. Roman Reigns is the greatest wrestler of this generation, and he, every time he showed up since he came back from the OTC arc and all this stuff, has either been jobbed out or has wrestled in meaningless matches or has won versus bums. He beat Solo Sikoa. Congratulations. Him and the Bloodline beat the new Bloodline that were absolute jobbers. Congratulations. Then in the matches that matter, the Royal Rumble, he gets eliminated. After that, he goes to WrestleMania, gets pinned by Seth Jobber Rollins, who they gave the reins to, had him do the big faction, and look at how bad Raw's viewership is getting under Seth Rollins as the top guy on Raw. It's embarrassing. This is the respect that they get. Even Dr. Libations. Dr. Libations is obviously a mid-card jobber, but the fact is that Dr. Libations has helped this company over the last couple years, obviously. And you mean to tell me that the WWE Championship reign that Dr. Libations got is the best that you could have offered? That's the best that Triple H had to give this guy who was showing up week in, week out when Roman wasn't there, when Seth wasn't there. At least Cody Rhodes was actually showing up in wrestling or cutting promos or doing something. Granted, the promos were pretty bad most of the time, but still, and the best reward you have for Cody Rhodes is to give him that garbage main event at Mania 41, and then to have Cody Rhodes have one of the worst championship reigns, one of the most boring and uneventful championship reigns of all time. Gunther, it's the same thing. Gunther goes out there. I think he's a mid-card jobber too, but that world title reign could have been better. Jey Uso is a undercard jobber, meanwhile, getting world championship reigns, getting to fight John Cena in main events on PLEs, getting to fight Logan Paul on a Saturday night main event. This is unbearable. Rhea Ripley, one of the top stars, quote-unquote, in the women's wrestling as a whole, and she's wrestled 13 to 14 televised matches in the last 500 days. This is unbelievable, man. Look at the reality of the company that we are around. Anybody who has any modicum of talent is either booked like a jobber or does nothing of meaning and doesn't feel like a star anymore because of the booking of Triple H and because of the garbage product that we get consistently that is corroborated by the awful production and awful, game planning and awful ideas from TKO and from WWE and from Triple Fraud. And now that we've moved on from this, because obviously RTruth deserves to keep his job, and this is unbelievable that he's getting fired. But this is the thing I will say. I do believe that there is a possibility that RTruth may not get fired. And the reason why is because I think that there could be a possibility of great storyline potential with RTruth. Now, obviously, you could have a situation, right, that RTruth potentially, comes out and, the next week, like, you remember Solo came out and he's like, I got tickets. RTruth could come out and you could easily play it into his character gimmick that he has no idea that he got fired. So RTruth comes back the following weeks with his tickets wearing a John Cena shirt, showing John Cena that even in RTruth's worst moment, he's still supporting John Cena and still being his biggest fan. And along with Logan Paul working alongside John Cena and them clearly having some tension as we saw on SmackDown, you can clearly see that they're setting up for Cena to likely turn face. They could easily have this turn into a storyline. This will be a great story if RTruth is fired, doesn't realize it, keeps showing up week after week, and even you could have him show up outside of the arena if he's banned from the arena, for example, to support John Cena. And then you could have a segment where John Cena in a video segment or something like that, have some type of vignette where John Cena meets up with RTruth at RTruth's crib, or they meet up at a secret location or something like that, and he apologizes, they make up, and Cena gets inspired again to be the ultimate good guy that he normally is throughout his career and lineage in WWE. That is how you could, really, really well book this Cena face turn eventually happening, and maybe even have him keep the WWE Championship at the same time. Or if John Cena is getting attacked, you could have a situation where RTruth comes back and saves him, and then RTruth gets kicked out of the arena, and that sparks something in John Cena to try and get RTruth's job back in storyline. There is ways that you can turn this potential firing, quote unquote, into being something amazing to build the story of WWE and to make things interesting and to turn this into a absolute amazing all-time great work of a storyline. However, if that does not take place, which I don't think it's going to, I actually think RTruth is getting released and I think he is getting fired. This is an embarrassment, and it is unacceptable. Triple H is a fraud. I'm tired of hearing about how great he is and how amazing he is. We see the proof is in the pudding that he is not good at what he does. But to me, the bottom line is at the end of the day, Triple H is an absolute fraud. WWE is ran awfully, and TKO are they're doing a garbage job with the current state of WWE. It is a trihead of all kinds of trashness being shoved in at once, and that is why we get bad products consistently week after week. And if you thought the fans were unhappy with the current product that they're getting week to week on Raw and SmackDown, just wait to see their reaction to this RTruth release. Everyone's already upset with Triple H. They're upset, and they should be upset because Triple H sucks at his job, and this is an unacceptable firing. Shout out to RTruth for putting smiles on people's faces, for entertaining us for decades, for putting on good matches, for having some really solid heel and face runs. Shout out to RTruth for doing all that and being loyal, you know what I'm saying, and putting his body on the line in professional wrestling for decades. If this is it, RTruth 100% deserves respect. We're going to give him a standing ovation, you know what I'm saying, because RTruth is awesome, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this news is absolutely disastrous, and hopefully this is not the end, but if it is the end, RTruth had an amazing career, and he is absolutely amazing and deserves all the credit and the love and adoration that he is getting right now after this news. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out, and one love. And I guess for the one time, maybe the last time, I guess, what's up? What's up? What's up? Anyways, y'all, one love.